to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a motion for the approval of the agenda?
I'll place forth a motion to approve the agenda in its written form.
Second.
Been properly moved, a motion by Ian McCain and second by Darlene Woodby. Motion moves. Have a motion for consent.
Call the
Let's vote. Call the vote.
Mr. McCain,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
4, 5,
5-0.
5. Motion moves. Can we have a motion for the consent agenda?
I play forth a motion that we accept the consent agenda in its written form.
I second it.
It's been properly moved by Ed Williams and moved by, again, Darlene Woodby. Motion moves. Call the vote.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
and Mr. McCain.
Yes.
Superintendent's report.
Good evening, Vice President Roscoe and the Board of Education. This is your superintendent's report for this evening, Monday, July 27th. Fall enrollment is open and schools of choice applications are available for fall 2026. Please visit our website for more information on how to start the registration process. Many of our elementary schools have got construction, so please know that registration will be available here at Central Office right until the start of school. The administration center is 24685 Kelly Road. Preschool enrollment, big change for us this year, is all East Point Community Schools Great Start Readiness programs will be 5 days a week. So we will have full day preschool program for 5 days a week, as well as transportation for eligible families. Please visit our website to apply, and classrooms are filling up quickly. I seem to be stuck and my slides are not advancing on the screen. One moment, please, while I investigate. Okay, I'm going to attach it back on, and we'll try again. Please excuse the delay. Here we go, take 2. Construction update. If you have not driven yet by 9 Mile, the high school track has been resurfaced. Construction crews are still finishing up a few last minute touches. We appreciate those community members who are respecting our construction signs and staying off of the track until it is completed, but that track does look amazing. And we're happy to provide this great resource for the community of East Point. Summer Discovery just finished up. Our 5-week Summer Discovery program wrapped up at Forest Park Elementary School last week. They had a great summer, and we're really impressed and proud of some of the gains that our students made who participated. If you did not participate, we hope you will consider it for next summer. Back to School Bash. East Point High School is hosting a community back to school celebration on Monday, August 24th from 1:30 to 4:30. All in the community are welcome to come and participate. There will be live DJ and music, food trucks, giveaways, community resources, and plenty of fun to be had. That will be hosted in the parking lot of East Point High School, weather permitting. Upcoming events, registration is available at all summer at Central Office. Our hours are 8 a.m. to 4:30, Monday through Friday, or you can register at East Point High School. July 27th to the 30th is our 7th to 8th grade Bridge Week at East Point High School. So to make that transition to the high school campus easier, please look for the mail that was sent to you about the Bridge program. Also check your email. August 24th will be our back to school bash. Staff return here in just under a month on August 25th. And on August 31st will be our first day of school for students. It will be a half day for students. This year, we are concluding a 3-year partnership with the city of East Point. Although the partnership's going to continue, I'd like to invite SRO Marcel Prude to the podium to talk a little bit more about the impact the SRO has had here at East Point Community Schools. What began as a grant through the Michigan State Police, our team has seen the benefits of having a district-wide SRO, and so we have continued to sign our contract for our joint participation in the SRO with the city, and the city council has also approved it. So we're excited to have you to continue with us, SRO approved, and we're excited to see some of the data and the impact that you've had in the first 3 years.
Good evening. Like she mentioned, my name is Marcel Prude. I'm the School Resource Officer for East Point Community Schools. This is my 3-year review. My role as a School Resource Officer differs from day to day. Our presence matters. Having the SRO on campus helps improve school safety, deter criminal activity, and helps promote a climate that is beneficial to all. I'm assigned to the East Point Community School District as a trusted partner to address issues such as safety and security, crime prevention, mentoring, emergency preparedness, and to bridge the gap and help build positive relationships between students and law enforcement. One of my roles as a School Resource Officer is to help provide a safer learning environment for members of the East Point Community School District and its visitors. This is a team effort that requires input from school staff members, students, and parents who help identify potential safety issues. When safety concerns are identified, my role as a law enforcement officer is to protect students and staff from harm, respond to emergencies, facilitate a faster emergency response, coordinate with local agencies, and investigate criminal activity. Some of the safety issues we encounter within the schools district that needs to be addressed are violence prevention, which covers topics such as school shootings, fighting on school property, gang activity, weapons on campus, threat assessments, and reports of suspicious behavior. Another is bullying and harassment, which cover issues such as physical bullying, verbal bullying, cyberbullying, which is often seen in student group chats, and mental health behavior concerns, which consist of identifying students in crisis, suicide prevention and awareness, self-harm, connecting students with counselors and support services. Also, we have to address emergency preparedness, which requires me to work closely with our school safety coordinator, Mr. Danny Latham. This area of concern covers areas such as medical emergencies, fire drills, which are coordinated with the local fire department, lockdown, lockout, shelter in place, and evacuation procedures, family reunification after emergencies. Also, we cover student education. Expert speakers will be called in to address topics such as vaping, illegal drugs, prescription drug misuse, fentanyl awareness and overdose prevention, do's and don'ts of safe social media use, online predators, sexting, identity theft, cyber threats against schools, and physical security, which covers visitor management, which means security escort to and from, control access to buildings, school security cameras that are monitored by school personnel, parking lot and bus safety. Some of my daily responsibilities include patrolling school grounds, attending school events, monitoring arrival and dismissal of students on school campus, meeting with parents, assisting administrators, investigating criminal complaints, conducting safety checks, and helping resolve conflicts before they escalate. Most people think an SRO's job begins when something bad happens. In reality, the most important part of my job is preventing those situations from happening in the first place. Every conversation with a student, every classroom visit, every lunch period spent getting to know students helps reinforce a climate of trust and mutual respect. Preventing problems before they occur is key to maintaining a safe space and a welcoming environment for our deserving students. This goal is accomplished by communicating with students, parents, and school staff members who have informed me of potential issues that have been brought to their attention. This effort gives me the chance to intervene and gather relevant information and then meet with the individuals involved to help resolve the issues. I also attempt to recognize warning signs, identify incidents of bullying, connect problem students with counselors, and encourage reporting of safety concerns. The high school has a great restorative justice team that is led by a group of peer mediators. Peer mediators are a group of trained students who resolve conflicts among their peers by facilitating communication and guiding them toward mutually acceptable solutions. Their team is doing an outstanding job helping students peacefully resolve their own conflicts. I, along with other staff members, refer students to use their services when appropriate. This team effort is supported by school staff and demonstrates our commitment to create a safer learning environment. As I mentioned earlier, one of my responsibilities, which is very important to me, is to continue to build positive relationships with students, which leads to open lines of communication. Students understand I have an open door policy. By building these relationships, students are more likely to report concerning issues when they trust the adults around them. That trust encourages students to report concerns early, help us resolve conflicts before they escalate, and creates a safe and learning environment where students can focus on learning. As a school resource officer, I understand some students are hesitant when it comes to reporting related issues due to a variety of different reasons. Some reasons include fear of retaliation, loss of friendships, being seen as someone who cannot be trusted to keep secrets, or fear of being labeled a snitch, which translates to some students are taught in their community not to trust the police or provide them with any type of information that can potentially get someone in trouble. To address this issue, I encourage students to use a program that was curated and monitored by the Michigan State Police, which is called OK to Say. This program allows anyone to submit confidential tips on criminal activities, potential harm directed at students, school employees, or schools. Tips can be submitted 24 hours a day and 7 days a week via text message, phone call, or email. Students and parents have used this program to report their concerns without fear of being identified. Incidents that are directly related to members of the school district are then reported to myself or other members of our department so that we can immediately start our investigation process to address any reported concerns or issues. As your school resource officer, it's important for me to build strong community partnerships with school administrators, teachers, parents, neighboring law enforcement departments, which includes the SROs, East Point Fire Department, MedStar, which is our local responding medical personnel, CERISA, our local dispatchers, Macomb County Juvenile Court, and other community organizations who are also dedicated to help making our schools safer learning environments. Another role that aligns with being a school resource officer is to serve as an informal counselor. Frequently, I receive calls from frustrated parents who express their need for additional family services that our schools don't provide. One common problem that is discussed is fear that their child is demonstrating a lot of bad habits and appears to be heading down the wrong path, which puts them at risk to be criminally penalized for their actions. To help parents address these issues, I provide them with a list of family services that are offered to families who reside in Macomb County. Some of these organizations offer services such as youth counseling, parenting classes, mental health evaluations, summer camps, and prevention services pertaining to drug abuse and suicide awareness. Some parents communicate the need for a more aggressive approach when faced with dealing with a child who may be considered beyond their control, which translates to displaying behaviors that put themselves or others at risk. Behaviors such as habitual truancy from school, violating curfew, repeatedly running away from home, consistently disobeying parents' rules, and continuing to exhibit negative behaviors that cannot be managed through normal discipline. When parents reach this point and assume they are out of options, I refer them to notify the 16th Circuit Court Juvenile Division and file for incorrigibility. Filing for incorrigibility is the process of asking juvenile court to intervene and provide services and supervision to help redirect disruptive behavior. This effort helps connect families with the appropriate resources rather than simply enforcing laws. One local community organization I would like to highlight is the Results Mentoring Program, which is located here in the city. Results Mentoring is a behavioral intervention program that provides mentoring, redirection, and tutoring services to assist educational facilities and parents with at-risk students. Students that have behavior issues, self-esteem, self-respect, anger management, and other issues are great candidates for this type of early intervention. Their program is geared to help students succeed not only in the classroom but in life. All of my efforts as the district's SRO are geared toward improving the school climate. I fulfill this objective by focusing on forming trusting partnerships, mediate conflict resolution, promote student engagement, and ensure respect and inclusion are my guides for achieving these goals. This report emphasizes SRO's greatest impact is often seen in incidents that never occur because of the positive relationships that were created and the prevention tactics used to address potential issues before they're allowed to transpire to something more. As the district's SRO, I'm called upon to provide law enforcement services to all of the schools in our district. The cost of service range from fights on school property, which includes the school buses and students on their way home from school, reports of bullying, students in possession of weapons or contraband such as marijuana or vape pens, reports of assaults that occurred off campus, threats toward the school, students and staff, building alarms, traffic complaints, missing children, medical emergencies, trespasses on campus, which majority of the time are former students who were expelled or groups of teenagers from other schools, and also parent meetings. My days are busy and always full of adventure. Due to the serious nature of some of these calls for police service, at times I'm forced to request additional assistance from my fellow officers who help me handle these tasks safely and in a timely manner. Daily, I'm summoned to assist school staff and administrators when a potential crisis presents itself. Some schools require more assistance than others. Over the past 3 years, I've collected relevant data that demonstrates the need for a continued partnership between the school district and police data. So these are my calls for police service. The first year of this joint venture between schools and the police department began in August 2023 and ended June 2024. During this time span, there were approximately 202 police calls for service to the high school. These calls range from weapon offenses, minors in possession of vape products, larceny from school grounds, trespass, fights on school property, which were the majority of police calls, threats to commit acts of violence, intimidation, juvenile suicide, traffic complaints. The second year began August 2024 and ended June 2025. During this time frame, there were approximately 299 police calls for service to the high school. These calls range from the same as the last school semester with the addition of a few burglary reports and one report of student gambling. This school year, there were more reports of minors in possession of vape products and students fighting. The third year began August 2025 and ended June 2026. During this time frame, there were approximately 170 police calls for service at the high school. These calls are also similar to the previous school years. This school year was also flooded with reports of minors in possession of vape products and students fighting. At the middle school, there were approximately 75 police calls for service the first year. The middle school experienced similar issues as the high school. The second year, there were approximately 73 calls and 56 the third year. Pleasant View Elementary had 56 calls the first year, 50 calls the second year, and 58 the third year. The majority of these calls were related to fighting, weapon offenses, threats, and traffic complaints. Bellevue Elementary had 30 police calls the first year, 25 the second year, and 32 the last year. These calls were related.
I've been flipping through the slides a few times, but you're seeing the instances decrease as a result of your impact here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we're down to only 117 total citations.
Citations, yes. I started off at 156 the first year, 167 the second year, and 117 this year.
That was at the middle school, right?
No, that's total.
Total.
Oh,
Total.
Total.
All the schools in our district. So it's Crestwood. So let's get to
I think
the
we can move on
citations.
to threat assessments.
Okay. Threat assessments, okay. Beginning the last 2 years of this assignment, I've been called upon to sit in on student threat assessments. These assessments are used to determine whether a student is a serious threat to himself or others. Assessments are conducted by multidisciplinary teams, which are made up of administrators, school counselors, mental health professionals, and sometimes law enforcement. During these sessions, my responsibility is to determine if a student has direct access to firearms at home. This task is completed by conducting a records check for registered firearms. If registered firearms are found, I contact parents to ensure they are aware and are following protocol for Michigan's Secure Storage Law, which became effective February 13, 2024. If a minor, this new law mandates unattended firearms are properly stored and secured if a minor under the age of 18 is present on premises. I immediately share this information with school staff members who then document my findings to determine the appropriate discipline and/or what type of services are necessary to help this family. Throughout my 3-year time span as the SRO, frequently I'm called upon to interact with parents and students to address concerning issues that require police involvement. Monthly, I average approximately 50 parent conferences and 55 students council. These meetings are conducted in person or via phone. During these meetings, parents are informed of what issues their students are having in school. These productive meetings give parents a chance to share their own observations about their child's behavior, which leads to two-way conversations that help build positive relationships and encourage ongoing communication. Students are also allowed to give their personal input and realize that my job is to work in collaboration with their parents and school staff to address any challenges they face in school. Okay, now let's talk about my role as an educator. As of last year, I was tasked to go into a classroom at the high school and teach an introduction to criminal justice class. This sector is part of the school's career technical education program. This program is designed to give students an understanding of how the U.S. criminal justice system works in their community. We focus on 3 main components, which are law enforcement, courts, and corrections. Students explore how individuals from each profession work together to address criminal complaints, ensure justice, and manage offenders. I help students maneuver through this course using an educational program called ICV, which stands for Innovative Career Education and Vocational. This online resource helps provide a comprehensive curriculum and educational tools that help ensure student success. During this course, students are challenged with assignments that will allow them to develop career readiness skills such as problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, personal management, leadership, and communication. Students will explore public safety careers and have opportunities to connect their educational decisions with career options. Career awareness and training will include field trips, guest speakers, and possible job placements as part of this course. Currently, I'm working with an organization called LAPSN, which is Law and Public Safety Education Network, to help students earn industry-certified credentials. LAPSN is an organization that helps educators ensure what is being taught in class aligns with real-world expectations. Their goal is to connect education to employment by setting clear standards and partnering with industry professionals to identify what credentials are needed. Earning industry-certified credentials shows that students are not just learning about public safety, they are prepared and ready to succeed in their career field. To help bring awareness to our CT program, I, along with our CT instructors from Culinary Arts and Business Management, sponsored an annual CTE takeover. This event was created to highlight the many different career opportunities that are available in each industry to our students. Students love hearing from people who are actually doing the work. I invite many industry partners to participate, such as 911 dispatchers, K-9 officers, police drone operators, members from the East Point Fire Department, paramedics, military personnel, prosecutors, judges, crime lab technicians, probation officers, and more. This event gives students the opportunity to speak directly with public safety professionals and ask questions and hear about their experiences. Sometimes many professionals from this industry motivate students by helping them envision themselves in careers that may interest them. This event will help students gain a better understanding of the many different career pathways in public safety, the education requirements, and the skills needed to succeed. At the end of the day, the greatest measure of a school resource officer isn't the number of emergencies we respond to. It's the potential incidents that we prevent because of the relationships we built, the trust we earn, and the visible safety presence we provide. A great SRO isn't just protecting our schools, we are investing in our students' futures by offering guidance, encouragement, and support both inside and outside the classroom.
So much, SRO.
Okay, no problem.
We appreciate your announcement and data and sharing a little bit more about your work with our team. Thank you so much. Next part of the superintendent's report is I'd like to walk the community through the 2026 bond proposal summary. This evening, the Board of Education will have an action item to place the ballot language on the November election. As the community might know, and maybe you're seeing, is that we're making promises and we're delivering on those. In 2023, we passed a $36.4 million bond. Much of that work is concluding now. We developed a master plan using 12D infrastructure funding from the state of Michigan and hired a consulting company to help us see the possibilities in our organization. In 2023-24, we began engagement with the city in a joint council meetings about what might this look like in our community. In '24, construction on our K-5 buildings began. In June of 2024, we passed a board resolution adopting our new configurations. And in the beginning of this past school year, 25-26, we reconfigured our elementary schools to become K-5 schools. In the 23-24 facility master plan, we engaged with community partners, parents, students, architects, engineers, and looked at what would be the best fiscal moves to keep us responsible and to use our facilities and maximize their space. In 2024, in June, after this year-long study, the board adopted a long-term facility master plan that returned our 4 elementary schools to K-5 schools, that established and maintained a standalone pre-K early learning center, and that directed the district team to unify a campus 612 so we could maximize the space of East Point High School. Since that time, our bond planning team and our construction team started to meet. There were bi-weekly meetings. We looked at numerous facility configuration and funding options. We visited other districts who had buildings approximately our same age to see how they approached similar issues. We provided the board an overview of our work and public presentations, and we continued to conduct community feedback sessions. Through this process, we are making key recommendations to go forward. First is that we renovate East Point High School to house 6, 8, and 9 through 12. We ensure and listened and heard not only our board but our community when they said that if we housed them on the same campus, it needed to be separated. We would create separate entrances and administration areas for the middle school and high school students. We would maintain our current pool and field house. We would create a location to house the ECS Central Administration. We would renovate and maintain the current ELC facility on David, and we would look at repurposing, selling, or demolishing the facility that we sit in tonight of East Point Middle School. The project scope of East Point High School is 252,000 square feet of renovation and new construction. The new construction would be a handicap accessible pool entry and locker room to create more equitable access for those who have mobility issues. We would improve the building envelope, replace roof, brick, windows, gutters, exterior doors, and enhanced main entrances. Our interior, all 3 floors would have a range of construction, heavy, moderate, and light classroom renovations, new administrative area, a revised and improved culinary arts with a serving restaurant, a media center, gym, and auditorium. Oops, excuse me. We would also have to do significant power upgrades, generator upgrades, HVAC work, and temp controls. For those of you that don't know, the middle school and the high school do not have air conditioning currently. That would be part of our bond planning. The site work would be to reconfigure parking and driveways, stormwater management, and new signage. And technology would be AV, cabling, access control, cameras, intercoms, furniture. We would demolish the vacant west wing of the current East Point High School. Here is what it would look like on the ground floor, where we would have administration services move to where the current media center is. The media center would move up to the front of the building. This would be our pool addition. And then these zones would be middle school cafeteria zone and high school cafeteria zone. Our early learning center project scope would be about 34,931 square feet of renovation. The critical mechanical items that need to be addressed at our early learning center are boilers, pumps, unit ventilators, tube radiation exhaust fans, and a full HVAC overhaul. The ELC also does not have air conditioning at this time. There would be work done on the exterior of the building, a new roof, repair of brick, and envelope repair, windows and gutters, LED lighting throughout, new controls, fire alarm, and panel. The interior would have ceiling tile grid, restroom renovations, new casework in 20 classrooms, a kitchen renovation, and a new teacher's lounge. We would replace the parking lot, concrete walls, and fencing, as well as infrastructure refresh furniture. Updated financial requirements of the recommended plan. Initially, when we began community input sessions, our bond was over $120 million. After listening to the community input, we decided to scale back our project as much as possible. We have a $99 million project at this time. It is an $11 million reduction from our presentation we did in April. We have tried to generate additional funding that would not require us to go to our voters. We've looked at the school bond loan revolving fund. The ECS voters approved our millage. That is not for that is for operating costs and is not for bond construction. We've written congressional requests for funds. We've written state Senate level requests for funds. Recently, the team applied for Section 12E school infrastructure grant. Unfortunately, we were not recipients of that grant. It included an $11 million ask for specifically some of our ELC construction. Looking at our package of a $99 million bond, it would be approximately 3.5 new mills. This is a 1.5 mil reduction from what we presented in April. Looking at the home values here, and remember, many people haven't had their state equalized values increased on their homes. So for many of our residents, this would be a significantly less, but it comes out to be about $350 per year or $1 a day to support our school bond. The difference between an operating millage and a bond, the operating millage, which our voters recently approved, is levied only on commercial, rental, and second homes. It funds the day-to-day school operations. It is required by law, and districts may not use operating revenue for major construction. Why do we need to go for a bond? The bond authorizes the district to borrow the money by issuing the bond. It is allowable to fund capital projects, cannot be used for operating costs such as salaries or utilities, and is repaid over time through a separate property tax levy on all taxable property. So our key milestones and our next steps is that you've seen that we've completed focus panels and surveys in May. We listened to the feedback from our students, from our parents, from the community members, and reduced our bond scope. The preliminary bond application was provided to the MDE Department of Treasury in June. Our board qualified the preliminary application on June 22nd. Treasury has approved us to move forward. So tonight, the board will approve a resolution certifying the bond proposal to the election coordinator to go on to the ballot for November. We will have informational campaign beginning July 28th. Most of our campaign will be out on August 5th, so that we don't confuse voters as we come to the August 4th election. Election day will be November 3rd, and our team will know more about our next steps to living into this board's long-term facilities master plan. So that concludes the superintendent's report for this evening.
Let's move to agenda item number 7, the first hearing of the public for agenda items only. When you approach the dais, please state your name and where you live. Let's open it up at 7:05.
Does anyone wish to be heard? You said, does anyone wish to be heard?
Does anyone wish to be heard? Does anyone wish to be heard? Does anyone wish to be heard?
Seeing none.
Seeing none, we'll close the first hearing of the public at 7:06. Moving to agenda item number 8, discussion and action, curriculum. There's a presentation, Sex Education Advisory Board, curriculum material review as required by MCL 380-0 1507.
So thank you so much, Vice President Roscoe. I'd like to welcome to the podium Health Instructor Katie Bellamonte and Curriculum and Instruction Director Lisa Petrella. Take it away, ladies.
Superintendent Gibson, members of the board, and our audience in attendance here at home. As Superintendent Gibson said, I'm Lisa Petrella, Director of Curriculum, and I'd like to introduce again Katie Bellamonte from East Point High School, who serves as our reproductive health supervisor and chairs our district SEAB. SEAB stands for Sex Ed Advisory Board. State law requires any district that elects to provide sex education must have an advisory board established. This board is responsible for reviewing, recommending, and approving program materials, setting goals and objectives for instructional programming, and reporting updates to the Board of Education. In addition, state law mandates that Michigan students receive instruction on dangerous communicable diseases like HIV and AIDS each year at every building level, so elementary, middle school, and high school. For students in East Point, those lessons are delivered in conjunction with the puberty or maturation lessons students have the opportunity to participate in as fifth graders at our elementary schools, in grade 7 as part of their scheduled PE health class, and in grade 9 at the high school as part of the half-credit one-semester health class students take to meet graduation requirements that are outlined in the Michigan Merit Curriculum. This table shows the current district-approved resources and the general timeline for lessons. And one of our recommendations, as you'll see there in highlighted in yellow, is to move the fifth grade presentations from spring to earlier in the school year, which we plan to do in the 26-27 upcoming year. As always, parents are given the right to view materials in advance and opt out of lessons if they choose. The committee discussed ways to improve this experience for all students, and will continue with that work ongoing in the fall. The current advisory board also set some additional goals for the upcoming school year, and we believe that based on feedback, these will be some really good shifts to make. As I already mentioned, the SEAB recommends the continuation of puberty and HIV presentations with the current district-approved resources for grades 5, 7, and 9, but we will select those dates earlier in the year for our fifth graders. In addition, we'll encourage participation in the MISD's Always Growing, Always Changing session for girls in grades 4 and 5. This is a virtual session for young ladies and an important adult in their life to attend together. These sessions are offered throughout the school year and will go into more detail about the maturation process that is unique to girls, and the info may be a little bit more timely for girls and some families. All East Point PE health teachers will become certified to teach HIV/AIDS lessons, which gives us some flexibility in both our presentation and our timeline. It won't have to be just Ms. Bellamonte doing those presentations in each year at all the buildings now that we have 4 elementaries. Our teachers will also have the opportunity to attend Michigan Model training at the MISD throughout the year as well. Starting this fall, we'll meet to establish metrics for our committee goals so that we can move away from these updates being simply, yes, we're complying with the law, to not only are we teaching these lessons, but look at the impact that these lessons are having on our student population in East Point. And when I come to you again, we'll be able to have some evidence, maybe some pre-post assessment scores, some perception data, an increase in the number of SEAB members, et cetera. So we'll have some hard data to share with you about our progress. Speaking of membership, I'd like to thank Ms. Caitlin Smith, who is a parent of 2 East Point students, and elementary PE teacher Mike Maltese, who have joined us in this advisory and participated in our recent meetings. We're planning to recruit more members to join us, and this is where, Danny, maybe I need you to a close-up camera shot. We're now no, we're not going to do that. But we want you to join us, and we need more parents, more high school students, more community members, especially reps from the local clergy or those in the medical or community health fields. We'll get bonus points for those. We want more to have a voice in this as we continue to build our advisory board and reach for our goals. We plan to have a minimum of 2 meetings per year moving forward, so that's not a huge commitment of time. We do have some relatively new standards for health in the state of Michigan, and we plan to unpack those and dig into those a little deeper in the fall to ensure that our current resources align. Finally, we have added a space on the website for all things SEEB related. I think you had that slide up previously. And that includes how you can apply to join us to join this committee. So under departments, you would find curriculum, and then the district reproductive health information is there. You would click the link that you'll see on the kind of on the right side that I've highlighted for you there, and it's a short form that you would complete. Once our meeting dates are set for next year, we will post those to this spot, and these are public meetings, so anyone can attend. There'll be viewers, but also we'll have the SEEB committee members at those meetings. And we will also continue to link all of our agendas and minutes for full transparency on this topic. At this time, I'm going to summarize the current SEEB's recommendation to continue the current and previously approved policies to deliver sex ed instruction and the mandatory HIV/AIDS instruction to grades 5, 7, and 9. We recommend no changes to current district-approved resources at this time, but please know that we would follow our curriculum adoption processes if and when that were to change. The only changes that we're reporting tonight are the established goals that we have for the upcoming new year. That includes recruiting those additional members. Again, we want you. The 26-27 staff certification and training, and the shift in the timeline for the elementary puberty presentations that we're hoping don't have to be co-ed, that we can kind of divide and conquer with having more certified folks presenting. So thank you for your time listening to this update this evening, and we're here to answer any questions if you have them.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Petrella or Ms. Belamonte?
Or did you have some additional words? Okay, I covered it.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for the presentation.
Sure.
I know, again, I'm the newbie here, but has the board had a chance to review the curriculum recently?
Recently, no, we haven't made any changes, so that's part of our curriculum adoption process. As you know, when we adopt something new, we certainly invite you to review. But no, there probably hasn't been a recent eyes-on, other than what's linked in here. You're certainly welcome to review those materials.
Okay.
Or reach out, and I'm happy to invite you in and show you those.
Yeah, that'd be great if that's something potentially that could be arranged.
So what we'll do is the SEEB will make recommendations, and if the SEEB changes any of the curriculum or content, then we'll walk through our process again and invite board members in to look at it. But I can set something up with Lisa and Katie to show you what we're currently teaching as well.
Absolutely. We're happy to do that.
That'd be helpful. And my only other question is the curriculum inclusive of the LGBTQ community?
How would you answer that? You are our main presenter. I defer to you.
Oh,
That is really the curriculum that are curriculums that I want our board to be able to look at. Currently, we're using Michigan Model. We were using how do I say this? We've been in limbo here for a little bit with
Sure.
changes in teachers,
Sure.
and at the high school level, it has been majority, unfortunately, just focusing on HIV. And with all of this, we want to get this all set into place where then we can look at new curriculums off of the Michigan model that can service more of our population of students and their unique identities and beliefs and, body types.
okay. Thank you.
That's a good question.
Thank you so much, ladies. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
With the B part.
You can move on to non-affiliate contract.
So now we'll have the B part of our agenda, the non-affiliate contract addendum.
Yes, please, Board of Education presented to you in your board packet were non-affiliate contract addendums for the non-affiliates. This is in line with the other raises that other collective bargaining agreement groups have received.
Can we have a motion?
Place forth a motion to approve the non-affiliate contract addendum.
I second it.
Been properly moved by Ian McCain and second by Ms. Woodby. Motion stands approved.
Mr. McCain,
Yes.
Darlene, Ms. Whitby, Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
Mrs. Chopra,
Yes.
Vote passes.
Vote passes 6-0. Now let's go to item number 2, Executive Cabinet contract extensions.
Yes, please, thank you, Vice President Roscoe. This is an annual action to renew and extend the executive contracts for central office.
I make a motion to extend and renew the contract for central office.
Support.
Been properly moved by Ms. Chopper.
And McCain.
McCain. Let's call the vote.
Ms. Chopper,
Secretary.
Yes.
Brain freeze.
Mr. McCain,
The air
Yes.
conditioning's
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
and Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes 6-0.
Next item.
Next item will be the board member attendance at the Council of
Board of
Urban
Education bylaws.
Board of Education bylaws. I'm sorry.
Presented to the Board of Education as a bylaws update inside of your policies.
Can we have a motion to approve?
I move to approve.
The Board of Education bylaws update.
It's been motioned by
Ms. Richardson.
Ms. Richardson
I second
and second by Ms. Willoughby.
Whitby.
Whitby. Don't throw nothing over here, please. Can we have the vote, Brother Secretary?
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Chopra,
Yes.
and Mr. McCain.
Yes.
Motion passes.
With a 6-0 vote, motion passes.
Item number 4.
Now we go to item number 4. Board member attendance at the Council of Urban Boards of Education CUBE Conference, October 1-3, 2026, Chicago, Illinois. We have a motion.
I'd like to place forth a motion to approve the board member attendance at the Council of Urban Boards of Education, or CUBE Conference, on October 1st through 3rd, 2026 in Chicago, Illinois.
Second.
Properly moved by Ian McCain, and second by Chopper. Motion passes.
Call the vote.
Call the vote.
Mr. McCain,
Yes.
Mrs. Chopra,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
and Mrs. Whitby.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Motion passes with a 6-0 vote.
Item number 5.
Item number 5, recommendation for approval of board policy and administrative guideline, wireless communication and personal electronic devices as required under, what's that,
MCL.
MCL 380-1303A. Have a motion.
I would like to place forth a motion, but, yeah, I was wondering, Superintendent Gibson, if you could just give us a super high-level, like, overview of the policy.
Yep, so to be in compliance with wireless communication and personal electronic devices law that was passed earlier this year, the Board of Education needs to adopt a policy that limits access for students to their personal electronic devices. And you'll see that it doesn't just say cell phones, because it's all of the devices. It's the smartwatch, it's the Apple AirPods. And students cannot have these during instructional time. That's what our law says, so the board has to change our policy. Our current policy is about a paragraph long, as you saw in your board packet. The recommended policy is to define instructional time as the beginning of the school day and the end of the school day. So our policy will state that students are not allowed to have wireless communication or personal electronic devices. Once the board approves that policy, then our team will update our administrative guidelines, our student code of conduct. This will be, and our state legislators made this change, right? This will be a big change for our students and our families. Currently, students are allowed to have devices. They were allowed to have AirPods. They were allowed to have watches. This would restrict that access, and they would not be allowed to use them during the instructional day.
Would the parents have an opportunity, will we reiterate this before school starts again?
We're
So
going
that
to
the-
need to do a lot of reiterating,
yes.
right? It will be a big, as a parent of teenage high school students, this is a big shift for parents. I'm used to texting my kids during the day and expecting that they're going to text me back, right? So it is a big change, and there will be some progressive discipline for children. Why the high school, so the high school improvement team has been very involved in this process. And they are asking that the board adopt the full instructional day so that there can be consistency throughout the school. The big concern of the school improvement team was allowing children to have it in the hallway, then you would be having fights regularly trying to get it to be put away. So the team is recommending, and you can see our high school staff members in the audience are nodding their heads, right? That they find, and the team is asking for a instructional day, and the board's policy that we are recommending here this evening makes that day the full instructional day. This would be K-12. This would also change adult behavior. Staff members would not be able to have phones out and about and to use their personal cell phones either. There would be some implications for teachers, right? So it will change some of our behavior as adults. I've already been talking to my team, like, what am I going to do with my phone? I'm going to have to put it away. And we have to model what we expect our children to comply with. So it will be a shift, and it will be hard for parents and students and adults.
Question, since this is going to occur, would there be some kind of system or a better system for parents to call the school to get in contact or deliver messages or some sort like that?
Well, I remember being a pass runner in high school. And so we will have to, go back to, and this, I don't have the answers figured out. I think that the high school team will have the most work to do. Our middle school has been cell phone free. Our elementary schools have been cell phone free. Even summer school this summer, Paris McCarthy was saying, nope, cell phones do not come to school. So it will be a big change.
With the districts that you've talked to that have implemented this, you've heard mostly positive things, correct?
I've talked to a number of districts, and many of the districts, I talked to a district similar to ours just outside of Toledo, Ohio, and they implemented their cell phone policy and said that students could have them in the halls and in the lunchroom. And the next year, they changed it and said they cannot have them at all. I've spoken to and met with Anchor Bay, was one of the first districts in our county, and the first year they did partial, and then the second year they moved to full. So most of the districts, I actually compiled the spreadsheet for the whole county, and every time I talked to a superintendent, I kept track of districts and what they were doing. What I found in my research was that districts that did not adopt full day tech away ended up doing so in the second year. And most of that feedback was about adult enforcement and consistency for behavior.
This is codifying what we've already been doing in most of the district.
This is codifying some of that work, you're correct.
And this is something that's being requested from the folks that will be implementing it also.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And another question
Sure.
pops up. If they do not, what do we have in place if the policy is not carried forth?
Yeah, the high school team has started to put forth progressive discipline that will first start with the first step is what we'd like is to have kids be able to keep their phones on their person. We're not going to take people's personal property away, but students are going to, that expectation will be, to put the phone away. And if you comply with the request, nothing further would happen. The high school's proposal is that it would be progressive. If you're belligerent or argumentative, then it escalates to the consequence. The high school is working on a system for taking devices and securing them in the office, and progressive discipline. First offense, you pick up the phone at the end of the day. Second offense, parent has to come pick it up. So there will be, the high schools the high school team presented me 2 possibilities, but both of them respect children, set a high expectation, and then have progressive steps.
So if we, it's gonna be on a merit basis at first, like.
They'll be
they can
starting
have it
with
on their-
off and away and out of sight. And
Right.
yes,
But it won't ever get to a point where or we don't foresee it getting to a point where, well, we can't really foresee it, but we don't want it to get to a point where we're expelling kids for having phones and
we don't
things
want,
like that.
we don't want that at all.
Okay.
But, it will be a change in behavior. And anytime we try to modify or change behavior, it is going to come with some tough conversations. But I know my teachers in the house, you start as you mean to go on. And you start firm and make clear expectations at the beginning of the year. Trustee Richardson.
Would there be a time limit on going to the restroom?
So the high school team is exploring with Assistant Superintendent Fleming how to help to track that and to reduce the volume of students in the hallways going to the bathroom simultaneously.
So with this progression, I know it's all brand new, but will we give them, like, let's say we started August 30th or 31st, is there, by January, this has to be set in stone, there's no going around, give them time to build up to a point where they get used to it, or is it just?
No, the law requires that the beginning of the school year, the board has to adopt a policy.
I understand that, but I'm saying
There is not a slow roll.
as far as the disciplinary action.
It will start at the beginning of the year.
That's gonna be a tough. Okay.
It's
We'll be
easier
praying
to
for
start
you.
as you mean to go on than to allow freedom and then try to bring it back. So it will be hard for students, and I think our parents will have a hard time. I think our staff will need to be unified and consistent. So I don't have that. I have that Ian McCain was going to make the recommendation. I don't
Recommendation.
have a second.
Yeah, if there's no other discussion, I'll make the motion to.
Can you redo that
Recommendation for approval of the board policy and administrative guidelines for the wireless communication and personal electronic devices as required under MCL 380.1303A.
Second.
Been properly moved by Ian McCain and supported by Shelley Chopper. Recommendation passes. Call the vote.
Mr. McCain,
Yes.
Mrs. Chopra,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes. Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
and Mrs. Whitby.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Let's move to item C, Finance and Operations.
So Dr. Dean is on vacation, so I get this agenda item here. Unfortunately, this is what I presented. This is not the unfortunate one. So this is the recommendation to adopt a resolution to certify our bond. This will call for the bond to go onto the ballot for November.
I make a motion to certify the school improvement bond proposition.
Second.
Can we back that up with a recommendation? Make a recommendation.
Oh, I made the recommendation to adopt the resolution certifying school improvement bond.
I second it.
Been properly moved by Shelley Chopper and supported by Darlene Whitby.
Thank you.
Got it. Can we have the vote?
Mrs. Chopper,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, yes, Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
and Mr. McCain.
Yes.
Motion passes, recommendation passes. Let's go to item number 2, bid pack 10 site work, additional contractor.
This is the unfortunate part. Our initial contractor that this board approved in bid pack 10 is not meeting their timeline obligations to the district. We are behind in our site work, and the site work is the beginning of all of the work. So we are behind on playgrounds. We are behind on putting asphalt in. At this time, I'm requesting that the board approve an additional contractor so that we can have a contractor approved and ready to go. We need the site work done to be able to open up schools in less than 5 weeks. So there are some contingencies in our contract with Gibraltar, but after this board vote, I will be signing the agreement to Barton Mallow to bring in a second contractor so that we can open up our 3 elementary schools on time and have a second contractor help to finish the site work.
So the second contractor will just redo what we had already agreed upon?
What we're having problems with our current site work contractor Gibraltar is they're having a employee challenge. Employees are not coming to work and finishing the work.
Okay.
So this second contractor will finish and execute the work, and we'll pick up wherever they have left off.
Barton Mallow? Who you?
So Barton Mallow is our construction firm. They've selected and recommended a
Okay.
contractor to the board.
I make a motion that
And will this second be able to meet the line that,
I
hope so.
I am cautious. We are cautiously optimistic, but I keep driving by all of my elementary schools, and the site work is not moving forward very quickly. So to see contractors out and working would be delightfully
Yes.
refreshing. So I'll take it if we get some people out there moving work along.
There's no threat of stop workage.
We don't anticipate that there is going to be any stop workage.
And
There's a lack of workage currently.
Is it like one school is ahead of the other? Because I hear beep beeping all day at Crescentwood.
Though the scope of the work is different at all 3 schools, so it's
Okay.
really not equitable work.
Okay.
At Pleasant View, you have a new bus loop being
Yes,
cut in.
I saw
and it's
that.
not
And
completed.
it's starting to look great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then at Crescentwood, you have the
The
new
new-
driveway pattern.
Right.
So that we don't have a dead-end log jam. So that's completely different work.
Okay.
And then you have Bellevue that is we're trying to increase some of the parking
Where?
and the flow. And the site work. So it's just the scope of site work is completely different. So I'm so sorry that you're hearing the beep beep. It's a sign of progress.
Right.
I'd feel better if there was less beep beep and more asphalt going down, but we'll get this second contractor approved and see if we can't get more work happening in our 3 locations.
Are we ready?
I make a motion that we accept the bid pack 10 site work additional contractor.
I
Support.
second. Support.
Oh, well, let's do it like this. It's been properly moved by Ed Williams and supported by Minnie at Ian as well as, and
So we'll have Richardson.
we'll have Richardson.
Yep.
Thank you.
Ready for the vote?
Mr. Williams, yes. Mrs. Richardson,
Yes.
Mr. Roscoe,
Yes.
Mrs. Chopper,
Yes.
Mrs. Whitby,
Yes.
and Mr. McCain.
Yes.
Right. Motion passes 6-0. All right, let's go to agenda item number 9, second hearing of the public.
Does anyone wish to
Opens up.
Does anyone wish to be heard?
to?
Does anyone wish to be heard?
Opens up.
Opened at 7:35.
7:35. Open and closed.
Open and closed. We could have went 5 and then 2 and 7. It's a funny clock up there. Okay. All right. Who got next?
Item number 10. trustee
Item number 10, agenda number 10, trustee comments. Who's got it last? You're done. Let's come over here to Ms. Whitby. We'll start with you.
This was a very informative meeting. I would like the parents to come out to our meeting so that you can have an input on yay or nay of what we are all doing here. I'm glad to have the SRO comments, and his presentation was really good. And I like that he had the anonymous line where they can call in anonymously and not be labeled a snitch or anything like that. School start next month, less than a month. So look out for the babies.
All right.
Yeah.
You good? Ed?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. Thank you, board. Thank you, community. I was very intrigued by our current SRO's presentation. It was it was very informative. I like the numbers. He does 50 to 55 consultation in person or calls daily, as well as teach a class, all that stuff in the course of I don't know how many hours, but that's impressive to me, to be able to get all that done and hit all 5 schools. I was really impressed by the 7. My bad. Did I say 5?
Yes,
7.
you did.
I was thinking about the elementaries. But anyway, the taking the number down from 299 to 170 in a 3-year time frame that's really impressive. It's not where we want to be, but it's not where we were. So that's good in itself. He hit on a lot of a few topics that I've been talking about, like vaping and narcotics. Vaping is very prevalent in our district, and well, I don't want to go into all that right now. There's not enough time, but we need to make sure that we're doing stuff as a district and as parents to make sure that our kids aren't able to go to the corner store and just buy it, especially if they're underage. And if they are being able to buy it, what are the consequences of the people that are selling it? Okay. So those type of things we need to address. Welcome to all the new hires. Mrs. Whitby said, we've covered a lot today, and it was very informative. And our prayers are with you and your family, Mrs. Whitby. Let's enjoy the rest of the summer. And if you can be anything for the rest of the summer, be kind.
Amen.
All right. Edward?
First, I want to thank admin for sending us all the material to prepare us for the work that we had to do tonight. I'm so glad I knew beforehand what we were getting into tonight. I want to apologize for being late. And as the public knows, this is an election year, and among the various political offices on the ballot, you're going to see selections for the Board of Education. Please take the time to research the candidates, talk to your neighbors, and cast your ballot for the future of your children. And let's keep moving forward together.
Yes.
Got it.
just want to thank our presenters, SRO and the SEAB, and for all of the work that you're doing educating and supporting students in our community. Also, I'm glad we got to support contract extensions, new technology policy, and the bond work. So, it was an information-heavy meeting, but I think we made some good decisions this evening. And last but not least, I got a quote from a book Superintendent Gibson recommended to me. Remind me now the title, Soup. I'm missing it. I know.
Me on the
I'm
spot.
sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll come with the book title next time so we can recommend it.
I'll get it
But
in
the
a second.
quote I have is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds, adored by little statesmen and philosophers and divines. With consistency, a great soul has simply nothing to do. He may as well concern himself with his shadow on the wall. Speak what you think now in hard words, and tomorrow, speak what tomorrow thinks in hard words again, though it contradict everything you said today. Ah, so you shall be sure to be misunderstood. Is it so bad, then, to be misunderstood? Pythagoras was misunderstood, and Socrates, and Jesus, and Luther, and Copernicus, and Galileo, and Newton, and every pure and wise spirit that ever took flesh. To be great is to be misunderstood. That concludes my report.
So the book is The Meaning of Your Life, Finding Purpose. So The Meaning of Your Life by Arthur Brooks, Finding Purpose in an Age of Absenteeism. Arthur Brooks,
The Brooks.
Harvard professor.
Addie.
And to my glasses, to ditto to each and every one, because the words were spoken that I thought of, the voting, the election, the people who stood and gave your presentation, and to the best thing you can do is to, you said, be kind. Mine is to be safe.
All right. That brings it to me, right?
Yeah,
All
take
right.
us home, Vice
All right,
President.
let's take it
us
on in.
home.
I concur with everything that was said, so there's no need to reiterate that. But what I will say, we've done a phenomenal job, an excellent job in holding on to a great team, our administration, and giving those extensions and things of that nature. I mean, we talk about it all the time, but they show us every time. And they're always in front of different things, and I just want to, I can just give them a hand right now. And I want to say that. And then our children, it's great to hear bikes running up down the street again, and you know you old when you say, get off my grass. I find myself being Mr. Wilson. Get off my grass. But it's summertime, and they're having a great time. And so you want to make sure they're safe and don't run them over. And they only being kids, so let them be kids. And to our parents, come on out and join us. Come on and let's have a conversation and making our school district better. We're stronger together. That means not only administration, not only school board, not only teachers, but we can't do anything without you parents. So come on into the next meeting and let's have a conversation and let's strategize for 2027. And again, I don't have a quote, but I will say, let's be nice. And meeting is adjourned.